Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legacy Cup number 2 winner bracket semifinals. We have QueNDi going against QueNDi over here, and let's take a look at the situation. We are in the brackets at the moment. Maybe I will pull myself even to the side. So this is the winner bracket over here. Yesterday we had an unfortunate game, Tyrant Collapse against Rubenstock, 5-3 close thing. So they are in the winner bracket finals, and we are looking who they will face now. QueNDi, seed number 2, QueNDi, seed number 3. Tyrant Collapse actually were seed number 4. Rubenstock seed number 1. So from now on, we only have sick matchups over there. We still have the loser bracket where we have some stuff going on as well. So the loser of that match today will actually wait against the winner of Bunkbuster QueNDi most likely. So we will see that coming over here. But for now, we will be focusing ourselves on the winner bracket finals and should be happy with that. The games are still running, so this is a semi-live cast, I would say. I'm casting Rex, but I still have the feeling that it's pretty close. No, thanks so much, Clemensor. Unfortunate, yeah. Showing the results well when we look into the bracket. Okay, then let's jump into game number 1. Please don't spoiler me at all if this series ends at 1 point. We are jumping into game number 1. First game will be Team Random Civilization on the map pack, so let's see how they're playing this out. This is Praxes playing the Chinese. His teammate is improvised with the Britons. On the other side, we have kind of a long distance here. Mr. QueNDi, the best player in the world, arguably, with the Viper. And his teammate will be Mr. QueNDi Rage playing the Britons, and he doesn't have the greatest start ever. And Harbody at the wrong point. That scout actually walked over the house. It shouldn't really happen as well. And yeah, defense over here. Rage actually already killed 3 units. How'd he already killed 3 units? Oh, he got a villager, it seems. And yeah, down to 5, maybe even got 2 villagers here. So that was pretty sweet stuff for him. 3 stable, 4 stable, 2 barracks opening against 3 stable, 2 archer ranges, 2 castle opening here by Kellan. He now needs to defend over here. Some villagers out of position by pulling them into the TC. All too good, and those villagers against the camels shouldn't take that much damage, and saving those as well. Kellan with a pretty solid start here. We'll have this defensive castles up. Will be a bit more cost efficient. Have some more army out. Maybe trying to get some kills over here. Oh, 3 castles up for Praxes, who is, yeah, a true master of this game as well. Super active over all the years, and I just heard is supposedly a top 10 AoE1 player in the world in deathmatch and random map. So it seems to be that he's an absolute beast over there as well, which is something I didn't know until yesterday evening. Kellan told me. Kellan now trying to go for the control in the middle here. Obviously we're somewhat fighting for all that gold here on Golden Crater. Trade can be set up though at the same time, but well, not if your enemy has more army in your own corner and you have yourself, because that means villagers will die, army will die as well. And yeah, important push here over at the right hand side. Praxes sending more and more as well. Moment of world population, small advantage there for QueNDi. Arbalest getting good kills in here, and they're snacking the Chukunus away, but no rams at the moment from the QueNDis. Oh, I'm saying that, and some are coming over. Another group trying to intercept some army here, but that means he always has to fight uphill. Not the greatest thing for him. I'm surprised how few lumbermen we're seeing. So many champions, Arbalest out here. Rage didn't really go onto his castles that early. Has 4 castles out though, so shouldn't be the biggest problem. Castle here somewhat in the middle, from nowhere. Instead of controlling the middle areas, which will be the most important thing. Kellan losing quite a lot of army here. And bridge against bridge war, I think you should normally see quite a bit of traps as well. And that's somewhat lagging. Already quite early siege workshop support. Gonna love that team play. Both players actually, yeah, seems to be pushing on the Brit player. Which is quite a nice team play. I kind of knew, okay, Chinese is tough to kill if he goes onto a lot of Chokanus and Onager defense. Those Onagers actually quite idle. Oh, those are a lot of rams. Looks like QueNDi could maybe push this. That's still a pretty strong army, but they don't have a lot of gold control here. At the moment, no gold control of the middle at all. Kellan already has 2 TCs up, now trying to go for more siege workshops. Quite a bit of weird houses over here, I have to say. I think some walls wouldn't hurt. And he has kind of a random siege workshop push here towards the enemies. To spot incoming army nice and early. Population actually pretty low for a 10-minute game, where we haven't seen any huge raids and base trades this far. See roughly 300 for QueNDi, on the other side roughly 200 for QueNDi. Why are they lacking so much? Oh, only 15 villagers here for Improvise, who's I believe also called Jordan. And 4, 5, 6, 7. He actually has enough TCs out. Why is he not building more villagers? That's just super confusing to me. Has enough production running, so I think that will catch up pretty soon. Trade at the moment 19 to 30, so people are getting relatively reasonable numbers over there as well. And yeah, Brits don't need gold instantly, they can get onto some reasonable army as well. And now, oh god, those traps with the werewolf upgrade are so deadly. Improvise actually having 215 gold and giving the rest to Praxes, who is now in the woodline here of Kellan. Nice raid. And Kellan just super unprotected. Is at pop 200. That's pretty nice by him, but he's now going to skirmishes. I'm 100% sure if that's the unit I want to really see. And oh god, he should have spread out those traps a bit more. Could have gone for other kills. So many rams dictating the game here. Onagers, I believe, cannot really do too much. Oh well, while I'm saying that, maybe they can deal with some rams. And some push in the middle. This is a very entertaining first game here to the start of the series. Still some units in the trade, but mainly taking care of wood villagers at the moment. Let's maybe take another look at some resources. We have Kellan with no wood left, so that trade is really efficient. On the other side we have Praxes with mass amount of food. Still trying to help out over here. And Rage. Not with that much wood either. So they're struggling for wood at the moment. Not too much for food. And Improvise. That's a nice push for him. And he continues with that many traps and some ram support. It's looking pretty nice for them. Unless Kellan obviously can close some the distance. If those rams are coming over, that could be a big blow into the production here of Improvise, or not to production, more the push of Improvise. Praxes trying to squeeze through. Kellan finally realizing, well, that's maybe not the best idea to always lose the trade and all my villagers over here. Maybe just build some castles to defend it. Could have even been a bit more defensively, but well, they're kind of fine. Stopping pushes, it's not like he has to defend against Mangodites or some moving units going into the trade. At the same time, Rage still in some troubles. Now Improvise with a solid 100 army against Rage only 30. And then it's going to be tough with so many traps still out. Is it this Japanese or a Brit player? Looks pretty nice. 3.5 out of 4 USA. Why? Well, how is Rage American? I think it's simply 3 out of 4. We need the Rams holding on here for QueNDi at that side. Take a look on the other side. That's a nice ram push as well. But enough Chukunus behind that. I think Praxes will do some damage against those incoming rams. And this continues as well. I love the team play of Praxes. How active he is, how much damage he is able to, yeah, really deal here. Maybe too many villagers here for a bird player. 140 trade cards. I normally want to have roughly 100 military, so I think more like 60 woodcutters, some gold, some stone, and 40 trade cards. Could be the better thing if you play the Britons. And that's why Wayne at the moment, they are in the blue trunks. Somewhat losing. Nice defense here by Praxes, lost the siege workshop, lost the castle, so true, and somewhat happy with that, but most important thing is really the push over here. But the amount of traps really got diminished. Look at that. I can only see 5 more traps. Oh, well. Let me look again. I can only see 4 more traps for improvised. So he really needs to get onto more production. Actually going down to 3, but sending 2 more in. Uh-oh, but now the traps are dying here as well. This looks like QueNDi is taking this first game. I'm pretty happy for them. And yeah, they're kind of not respected too much. The QueNDi here, and well, I did see them at 3rd to 4th place in this tournament. At least that's how I saw them before the tournament. But now they're impressing me quite a bit, even without their potentially star player, Mr. Leash, who is getting deployed, so he won't really play this tournament anymore. They play some of the first rounds, played like a beast there, and now it's all on improvised and Praxes. Another castle going down, pop 160 only here for Mr. Rage, and nice hill control Praxes there with his Chukunus as well, which are so efficient against Cavaliers and Rams. So I really like that he is coming over there with the double as well. Onagers now going forward, and those longbowmen on the hill, they are just doing a beautiful job. Traps going forward again, more siege workshops. What a beautiful team play, and that looks like a very strong game here by improvised. Super impressed by how well he's playing this. Getting lots of villagers killed down here. Another 2 castles are dying, and that means he is down to 3 castles, and a bird player with only 3 castles. That won't be the greatest production ever. Kellan trying to switch onto something now, even going for skirms here. I'm not sure if that's the best option. I think buying more stone and building more castles is better than saving gold. Trying to go for skirmishes. Gold control in the middle, not too important anymore. Improvise has 50 trade cards. Praxes 26. Let's take a look at the resources overall gained. Gold looks quite even. Not a lot of food eco going, and wood. Obviously everyone pretty high with that because they are going for quite a lot of wood. And at the moment, Kellan still with reasonable resources. But Rage quite low when it comes to the wood. Praxes continuing his push at the left hand side here. Longbowman still around and pushing so many traps out. Price selling, giving 5k wood to Praxes. It's quite a bit as well. And he is now continuing his push because Kellan is over at the other side so much. It's kind of opening this area, but I'm not 100% sure if that will be too efficient. Some amount of Chukunus are out, trying to go for the block here. Seems like that won't go up, but there's not a lot of Chukunus out. What is there? Oh, sneaky tower. Making me proud. And that's lit up. Yeah, some trade cards died, but that was not important. What's important is that this push is continuing, and it just feels like QueNdis didn't really have the answer to that mass amount of Rams here. Praxes just played a beautiful, beautiful job. Kellan not supporting with enough Rams. He has enough Rams over here, but maybe needed to produce even more. It sounds crazy because, yeah, I don't fault his numbers. Maybe it's just the positioning. And maybe some more onagers to fight off some of the Rams would have been nice for on the QueNdi side as well. This push just continues. 30-minute game here, at least in the first one. Here on Golden Crater. Legacy Cup number 2 winner bracket finals. Go Kellan. We'll see. He's hoping for a comeback in this game as well. Onagers now doing a reasonable job, but simply having some Chukunu in the back there is so efficient against those Rams. Ay, beautiful, beautiful job. And Praxes, he's just pushing with more siege workshops. This is so well done. Still lacking some army here in the back, but that's just such a good push. Another castle going down to 3 castles again. After he got so many more up, and well, that's the last hill. That's the last hill that QueNdi A is holding on to. It's only 1 tile high, but still. Maybe sneak some traps around and kill those markets. Maybe the Rams will do enough as well. True, now given some more stone to Rage, who needs to get some more castles up. He's only at 50 military. That's too little, if you ask me. Playing as the Brits player. Praxes KD is insane. Let's take a look at that. He is 532, 620. I mean, improvised KD. 840 to 340. That's just madness, yeah. That's how Brit wars work. You need to have massive amount of army. That was what Rage kind of failed to accomplish. Now rerouting his traps. Probably trying to do some damage against the Chukanus and Longbowman there. Population still 200 against 160. Oh god, that castle cannot really live for long. Look at that amount of traps still. But they're holding off. Same time push over here. They're not really getting any castles down. It's not super efficient. Really pressuring that castle. Traps are out now. So many Rams still. But they're fighting this off. QueNdi A with a hold. So maybe a mistake by Praxes to go over here and pressure as well. Or will he just kill Kellan and everything will be good? Did Improvise just kill another 100 units and only lost 20? Oh, and now the Chukanus are in the trade here. And where's the answer of Kellan? Let's quickly switch into his point of view. 1.6k gold, but there is no answer. This is a GG. QueNdi B is taking the first game here. And wow. That's something I didn't expect. That strong of a performance here by Improvise. And this wasn't like a big double at the start. This wasn't something crazy. It was just straightforward. Better production. Lots of castles early on. And as I said, Rage maybe went for too many archery ranges early. And then the big Ram support all this time. Praxes, beautiful team player at that right hand side. Interesting game, and that was a very, very high level. That KD, sick. Wow, okay. Have very little trade here. Quite surprising to me. Quite surprising to me. Little rider. Oh, 3 Kellan fanboys in the chat here. And Shine respecting that he doesn't want to get spoiled. Or like to prevent others from getting spoiled, I want to say. Okay, now we have Atacama with a hidden picked civilization. And it kind of feels like Slav Khmer established there to be the strongest. QueNDi leading, that's true. Some games have set nations by these competitions and not others. They kind of formed their teams as well. QueNDi kind of formed in War is Coming, and from then on never changed. QueNDi, well, there's just a big deathmatch scene from the US. So they were friends, they teamed up as well. And then there are obviously some teams like RMers forming DM teams. Someone looks kind of sick there? Yeah, sadly I am. Okay guys, so then let's jump into game number 2, shall we? It will be Atacama, and we are looking into indeed Slav Khmer War, and Slavs for Praxes, his teammate Improvise will play the Khmer. On the other side we have RiuT playing Khmer and QueNDi playing the Slavs. Actually starting with 2 houses here. That's not the best start if you have Slavs. Quite surprising to me. Actually 3 houses? What is Kellan doing here? That's a huge hiccup. Remember guys, Slavs, if you build any military buildings, you are getting the 5 population as well. I think this should have been a restart here for Kellan. He played that very poorly. And well, look at that, pop 12 against pop 17. Ay. This should be a good start here for Praxes. Let's take a look if he can, yeah, use that advantage enough. Oh, elephant's actually coming over. That means Praxes needs to play aggressively as well so that he can trade off against the Halberdiers. True, going for way too many Halberdiers at the same time as well. Ay. Which is actually helping him out now, but that's not how it should work. Praxes now 10 population ahead, already setting up some trade here. We see Kellan trying to intercept this, and this is some nice aggression by Praxes, but not getting the villagers done here. The castle is up and he is somewhat safe for now. But Siege Workshop's already up, and in Praxes can maybe get some control here. But Improvise, where are all his elephants? Ay, that was too much. He maybe could die here if he doesn't have enough buffer in front of the scorpions. Now trying to get to the higher numbers. Elephants are running around. RiuT isn't going for the kill. Is actually blocked quite heavily by this wood line. It's weird how close they are, but it seems like the whole goal will all go over to the left hand side. And there, with his pretty bad start, Kellan is in some troubles. Pop 33 for him, prop 70 for Praxes. QueNDi in some real troubles here. That elephant's now continuing with the scorpions. And this push is looking pretty nice. And again, they are the ones pushing the QueNdi guys with their traps out. Elephants now getting more villager kills. Kellan at 8 villagers at the moment. We have Rage at 19, so that's good for him. But he needs to save his teammate. Why are they doing so much damage to the barracks? 100% sure that's the best choice there. At 50 pop, Kellan only now getting really the siege workshops up. Rams are doing the damage. And I love that they picked the same colors again. That's how it should be. Scorpions doing massive amount of damage here. Gonna love that. Traps still being active, and I don't really see how they are getting sniped down at the moment. More castles up, more traps around. Kellan pop 50, all the other players. Well, at least higher than 70. There's still a lot of scorpions around, so the bad elephants are taking quite a lot of damage. One castle down. Kellan in some troubles, but getting boyars out. What is that? It is cleared up, so not important. Setting the trade up. Kellan at the same time having some troubles here. But Rage is coming over, and he's coming over quite nicely. That castle indeed will fall, but it feels like the clear up could be for QueNdi here. That's enough army of Rage. Obviously was completely uncontested all game long. Green and blue didn't fight at all at the right hand side, and everyone is producing over here. But that will be interesting how the Slav players will hold with their SO defense. Populations for both Slavs are pretty low, but QueNdi is each 10 pop ahead. SOs for Kellan. Can he maybe get some big shots into those scorpions? Praxes should try to avoid this, or maybe get some big SO shots himself. Oh, this could get deadly. All those scorpions could get flattened, and one big shot, and maybe even another one coming in. Oh god. And we see Improvise now needs to retreat. Let's take a look at villager count. Obviously Mr. True is quite low there, needs to get onto his high numbers, but is setting up some TCs for sure. Oh god, but one single boya actually doing quite a bit of damage. The SO not shooting out of range of the castle as well, and only now realizing that go of the elephants is cleared up as well. And it feels like the game is stabilizing a bit. Still no attacks over at the right hand side. Now some elephants coming over, trying to clear up those traps. Obviously that should be pretty efficient for them. Super even game, and look at that battlefield, guys. That's just so brutal. Is QueNdi like the tyrant of the M? Well, they are like, what's the second best team? But yeah, QueNdi has the most DMers, for sure. Oh, that's something we don't see too often as well. QueNdi is like the SY of TM, but maybe that is a bit more fitting, yeah. And we're back, guys. Nothing lost. We didn't miss any of the action. And here we go again. Continuing this game, it still looks quite even, I would say. Maybe a tiny bit of an advantage there for QueNdi, but Kellan is still in quite some troubles. Very low villagers, and his gold could get pressured quite a bit. He has some other gold spots very open. I'm not sure if that's one of his, I don't think so. Does he have a back gold one? That's a neutral one. Maybe this could be his. He doesn't really have any access to gold at the moment if he loses those villagers. Nice Boya Rage here by Mr. Kellan. Otherwise trying to fight back here, but Kellan is actually getting onto quite solid pop here again, 144. And that's just only because Praxes not really abusing his map. He could pressure that gold spot so heavily. And Kellan obviously has 0 gold. Is not even on the back gold spot. He's only relying on those villagers to give him gold. So weird, only 16 trade cards. And Praxes just not reading the map well. If he just hits 1 SO, 1 trap, he would be so fine. Denying and killing so much of Kellan here. Oh, that's some efficient killing here. Scorpions behind castles. Kind of tough to kill that if you don't have any rams around. Finally going for that gold spot, but that's way too late. Now 20 trade cards. Going for another mining camp. Boya's coming over. They're slicing quite nicely. The trap will go down as well. Make that even 2. Oh, and even getting some of the SO here. So that's a very efficient group. Getting some raids in over here, not that important. Finally putting on some pressure. Kellan now down to pop 120. The QueNDi guys really need to pressure now. And I'm not sure if that dock is too important. Oh, look at that lovely Cannon Galleon group. Ay, gonna love that. Something we don't see too often. And they are killing villagers quite nicely. Well, I believe they should really focus on those Boya. Just snipe over here and everything would be fine. Pretty safe front at the moment. Oh, big shots against the Scorpions here again. Oh, and Kellan really is loving his Boya raids. Running into quite a lot of castles. Got some Onager shots off as well. And there are enough Boyas to clear this up, I believe. Praxes seems to be fine in this spot as well. The trade is just running. They're trying to build more castles just to be a bit more safe against future raids. But improvise. And obviously letting his rest eco open here. Oh, deleted TC instead of villagers. It was somewhat of a mistake. And Rage now pushing over here. Improvise not really having the answer to that. Why is that? He only has 25 military at the moment. Not really getting onto the high numbers. 3 traps, doing quite a nice job of tearing down castles, obviously. And, well, that's a lot of idle stuff. Cannon Galleon, micro... Not even sure. Does that shot still do damage? Yes, it's not a trap. Control some Scorpions, but losing more and more ground. But Praxes now coming around with some Boya and should clear up those Scorpions and traps. No problemo. But the Elephant continuing to do some pressure. Kellan wasting his Halberdier now as he should. Praxes is fighting for the wood, and that's one of the main issues here on Atacama. Fighting for that middle wood area. And this looks a bit better, I would even say, at the moment for... Praxes and Improvise. Have a bit more of that control. QueNDi's like the QueNDi of TM. What? So confusing. And now pushing back whatever Rage was throwing at them. Rage now lacking some Scorpions, if you ask me. Praxes is trying to go for more raids, and look at that. Wood efficiency isn't the greatest if you don't have the control in the middle. Those Cannon Galleons. Yeah, interesting stuff. This will truly be a fight for wood. Let's take a look at the wood price. 170 already. That's not because a lot of wood is... That's not because there's no more wood on the map, but because it's so... yeah, clumped up and so easy to raid and so denied by both teams at the moment. 3k food, 500 wood and 1k gold to improvise. Really trying to get that number up. And a nice raid here into the trade. But QueNDi has a solid trade still going for them. Roughly 90 cards here. Against roughly 90 cards as well on the other side. Third best DM clan. Well, it's the best DM clan. Because it's... yeah, there aren't that many DM clans. You're probably asking about the third best DM team at the moment, right? Firefly Pyramid, and he's getting through. Congratulations. Scorpions doing quite a reasonable damage, but not a lot of buffer there. Can Rage pop 160. QueNDi, both players basically pop limit and going for another raid there with the Boyas. Trying to be annoying over here, but I think those groups are too small. Elfish, thank you so much. I hope you had a wonderful time over there at the German Rocket Beans tournament. I tuned in quite a bit and we actually saw quite a good game of Feanor there on One Arabia. I hope you all had a wonderful time. And maybe think about tuning in tomorrow at the German day as well. And obviously after that at Elfish again. I believe he's streaming Monday and Wednesdays. At least that's what his schedule said when I read it today. Make sure to not spoiler any other series in the chat, please. So the people who just tuned in and want to see the other series later on YouTube or the Twitch VODs or wherever they want. Yeah, to still have the full experience. Trade is still running pretty solidly, and yeah, the only guy who isn't really popular is Rage, but he's getting raided, so I'm quite surprised by that. 77 villagers, he has all the trade cards, probably the lack of wood, but Kellan has, look at Kellan's resources, he has enough wood, and Rage, well, he has 2k wood as well. So what is his problem? He has 56 farmers. Seems like he just threw a lot. Let's take a look at the wood prices. At the moment, 166 for wood. Big Boya battles now in the middle, as it seems. And Karak with the... now the chat is a bit more active. We are in the Legacy Cup number 2, guys. It's a deathmatch only tournament. And we are in the winner bracket semifinals. It's QueNDi against QueNDi. Two teams that got seed number 2 and number 3, so that should be one of the best series of this whole tournament. And so far we have seen 2 very entertaining games. And this looks like Kellan is kind of throwing here into those 2 castles. I'm a bit surprised. So shots, oh, getting that ran down as well. Sniping that as well. I'm not sure if that's really the greatest thing that Kellan is doing here, but where's the production of Praxes? Not really happening either, and Improvise is pushing quite a bit as well. Rage simply not having the numbers, look at that, he has... Where did he just invest 1k food? Just queuing up some more elephants it seems, but not getting onto the real production here. He is at pop 160. Well, on paper, QueNDi is better than QueNDi, but it is pretty close. QueNDi, the red player, is considered to be the best DM in the world. Arguably top 2 behind TheViper. Or maybe number 1. Whatever you're asking. And yeah, the battle to really find out who is the better team is happening right now. So let's answer the question in this series and not speculate about earlier results. Elephant's now coming over, and that's a pretty good double here. Praxes doesn't really have the answer to. Maybe SOs are getting some good shots in. Cannon Guardians actually trying to help out, but they aren't doing the greatest thing ever. Oh, some good SO shots, and the double kind of ended already. A lot of SO lost their life, even more SOs, and oh, ground attack against his own SO. Ay. And this is cleared up as an aggression, but at the same time, Improvise is continuing, and he in game number 1 just really wrecked Rage here. Let's take a look if he can do the same thing again. Cannon Galleons, I would love to see some demos now, maybe even some Galleons. Because only Cannon Galleons doesn't really work if you are not a Spanish player. Oh, Rage going down to pop 130. This is getting tricky for them. This is a best of 9 series, guys, so whoever gets 5 wins first is going to advance to face off against TheViper and TaToH in the winner bracket finals. The loser will drop down, will play maybe QueNDi, ironically. So very little buildings over here at that part of the map. Love to see more controls, more push. And Kellan now coming over, trying to clear up all those scorpions, but enough elephants around it, it seems. So pop limit and Rage at 150. Why is he having so little food? He's keeping up the production. Maybe just add 10-15 more farmers. Could that maybe solve his issues? Maybe some more scorpions as well, because that's really something that is benefiting Improvise so much in all those games and all those engagements. Yeah, it's really interesting that so few are good Iron players are actually coming from the States, and in DM they're kind of the dominant ones. Spring, yeah. We'll work for Ice King obviously in the house and enjoying his time there. And a lot of US flags in the top, always. Yes, that was not reaching the castle. That's surprising to me. Okay, wood control now completely for QueNDi. Look at that. Uh-oh, and that's getting tricky. Let's take a look at the wood prices. 180, food at 170 as well. Oh, let's take a look. I think if the Onager isn't getting good shots off, this is looking pretty good for QueNDi. And indeed, Onager is dying without killing too many scorpions. Therefore, the scorps are advancing. And they are just doing so much damage here. Took more scorpions plus 1 range, a second arrow even. What is it called, an arrow? Bolt, something like that. And they are pretty close to the trade now. Aggressive castle, well, kind of facing 3 castles there, so Rage will defend that. But look at that gold amount by Rage. Doesn't really want to buy more wood and food. Same time, next push over here by Praxes prepared, and this is kind of a repeat of game number 1. Improvise slowly but surely, grinding down Rage, and whenever Kellan's coming over, trying to double, trying to help, we have a sneaky attack of Praxes, trying to do some pressure against the trade, or maybe into the base of Kellan, and those boyars are killing so many villagers here. True, in kind of some troubles, and that's mainly because the wood line is now all for QueNDi. They can build scorpions, something that QueNDi cannot. Look at that, they are going only boyar, only elephants, and losing over and over again. Now the big raids into the food eco as well. You don't really want to build halberdiers, you don't really want to build SO. You're gonna love those elephants here, and they, with some scorpion from the back, are just so efficient. Look at that, even the boyars cannot really close from the distance and get the big kills done. Yeah, if they are there, they are getting some kills in, but well, they're just dying to so many arrows before that. Super open trade here. Ay, ay, ay. That's just reckless by Improvise. That's here, that I don't see 2 more castles here. That's just so bad. Okay, let's take a look. Rage. Look at that HP from the elephants and how much he is losing. There's so many more elephants, but that's still not a fight he can retake. Now the traps may be helping out against the scorpions. That's a beautiful move. Trying to get some elephants through and trying to wreck them down. That's kind of working. Now focusing down the traps here is Mr. Improvise. And this looks like kind of an even fight. Maybe a bit better for Improvise, but now with the reinforcements, and clearly it looks better for our American player in the green trunks, who is at the pop limit. His both enemies are facing only pop 130. They're in the food eco, and they are going for the rampage move here. Kellan now trying to throw everything over. They're trying to defend desperately here, but the next attack is already charging up here for Praxes, who is going for relentless raids into the food eco. Kellan trying to defend, but he doesn't have the numbers. At the same time, Most of the army was shredded, and this feels like QueNdi is taking the second game as well. QueNdi built around their star player, Mr. True, isn't getting the real great fights here, and this is the 2-0. What a great series could await us here, and we could go into a very long one, because on paper, QueNdi the slight favorites, so why is that flag wrong? And so a comeback is absolutely possible. Oof. Achievements. True, yeah. Not the greatest kitty. Improvise. Just dominating again. 100 military. He is playing this like a madman. Fudiko for rage. He did have a good Fudiko. Seems like Justice engagement went that great. Overall wood. 10k less wood. Interesting. Oh yeah. Interesting. That's something I didn't expect. That QueNdi would perform so well here. Solid starts, solid army control, great map control, great team play as well. They might have been underrated by a lot. And they have been. We will find this out because we are jumping into game number 3 pretty shortly. And okay, just organizing the rest of the records. Okay, now we have Baltic, Franks and Malians coming up. That's an interesting matchup, guys. And very strategic one. Somehow Malians is better, somehow Franks is better. Not really figured out yet, and we will see how they will play this. It's important to go a lot on. Do you want draft? Yeah, I wouldn't mind draft. Thanks so much, Robo. And yeah, now heavy stable opening here with Franks, obviously, and he is facing the Malian Kellan, who is now only going for one house. On the other side, we have Rage going for the mass stable opening as well. And yeah, this looks solid, and that's a very open castle here by Improvise. Quite shocked by that. Okay, now going for early docks, trying to control this area. If he had all those galleons over here, that could work out quite well as well. Harbinger production, and isn't raiding that much. Kind of surprises me. On the other side, we have Rage going for quite a big raid. No one really going on water. Oh, actually, both QueNdi players going heavily on water. Now that's something. And the QueNdi players focusing more on land this far. Question is, how much are those galleons really doing? 4 damage only against a paladin. And you kind of need solid masses there to really do the damage. Or only focus down Halberdiers. Oh, this is 3 damage. That's nice. Nice. Overlay. Oh. Okay, there we are. No player effect square thingy. That's a beautiful name. And some galleons over here, and they obviously do a bit more damage against the heavy camels. But the battles are quite okay against ship. That's what they will do. Castle 99%, and actually, oh, go to skin cancelled here, or like not cancelled. Got denied for some seconds. Isn't really that important though. Praxes with a beautiful controller here. Kellan, I don't think that castle will really go up. Loses quite a lot of villagers. Improvise. Speaking of losing villagers though, is only at 5 villagers at the moment, and those 3 are kind of exposed as well. His galleons kind of stopping that Rage is just relentlessly spamming. But now they're both switching onto water. Kellan actually going for fire ship. Not 100% sure if I like that too much. Because he would love to go for fast fires. Take a look if he just tries to get... He just needs one more hit on that castle, I believe, to let it go up. Praxes playing this pretty cleverly. And those galleons are doing the damage as well. At the moment, I like how QueNDi is playing this. They're so clever, and if you would have given me like completely hidden names, probably would have guessed the 2 teams wrong. Yeah, probably would have. QueNDi is playing absolutely world class here. But Kellan, well, he's getting some raids in. He is still controlling the corner, but the castle did go up now and getting a lot of damage against those Shiberos in though. Now the big water fights, fast fires for the Frank players, some normal fires for Kellan, who is trying to charge down, and that's actually quite a good engagement here for Rage, who's clearing that up, and now therefore Improvise is kind of going back. QueNDi is setting up the trade a bit earlier than the QueNDi players, because Kellan is still very active, or Rage is pretty active with his paladins over here. Look at that, even patrolling both sides. That's pretty clever. Ay, 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 ay. And this corner is only now being reclaimed as well. Big water fights continue, and that's not a lot of demos here, and therefore Rage can go for fast fire ship only, and is killing that quite nicely. Lemon-Jack, the trolls. Welcome. Oh, did you write that before and just had a delay? Then welcome anyways. Okay, what are those axes? Big water fight here, and that's still no demos at all. By Malians and Franks, I believe. Ay, ay, ay. Time to look up the tech trees again. Who does have who has heavy demos? I believe Franks do have heavy demos. Yeah, they absolutely do. The question is if Malians have heavy demos as well. Let me take a look into Improvise. Does he have heavy demos? And yes, he does. So that could have been the answer. And that's a big push here by Rage. Oi, 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 oi. 2 castles already down. That's a lot of traps here and quite a big army. And a lot of halberdiers out, so Improvise won't do too much with his camels. And Rage just setting the kills in on water. KD actually super close for all the players here. That's pretty interesting. And Kellan just goes for a suicide move. Not 100% sure what he was thinking there. Yeah, that hurts quite a bit. Kellan just defending, playing passively. Obviously, I would love to see some more siege workshops here or outposts or something to see what's going on. And Praxes to see him just build some bombards, cannons, maybe some traps, and put on a little bit more pressure. Oh, and now going for the raid into the trade here, denying that castle for now. But actually there's so little trade. Look at that, 7 trade compared to 45. And denying some of the gold spots at the front here. Improvise. He might struggle a bit for gold. With that 700 only for him. But he has quite a solid production running. So that's not too bad. How is that SO getting 2 full shots off? 3 full shots. It was with 10 HP at the front there. Ay, 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 ay. Not getting focused down at all. No water support at all. This looks like Improviser is clearing that up quite nicely. Big water fight. Oh, Praxes. He's willing to defend there. That's not really what he's doing. Relations somewhat stable for everyone. Now going into galleons again with Malians. So annoying. Traps shooting you ISO. Can somewhat idle. Interesting army composition here by Rage. Now trying to send everything forward as it seems. Not really sure why he's still building halberdiers. Only against the camels. But if you have axemen and TaToH, not sure how important they are anymore. Dropping down that trap. Pretty sweet stuff, but maybe even start a bigger attack here. Now the Praxes pulled all the ship away. It seems like all the players are focusing on that side first. Praxes could also build some stables over at the other side. Something that is not happening at the moment. So just doing massive amount of damage to those axemen, trying to force the issue here, but obviously with that, those numbers, TaToH are pretty fine. Now some galleons coming over, some fast fires as well. Not sure how important that is. And well, you could put on some pressure over here to try to deny the trade cards. Trade is still very, good for the QueNDi team. Praxes now. I love that Axeman and Bombard Cannon. So low pop for such a cost-efficient defense. And yeah, against that Kellan really needs to invest in quite a bit to really do the damage. Now sniping down there. So did he? How many shots did he shoot there? Surprised that the SO wasn't dying against 2 shots. Guns still around. Water control is still better for QueNDi, and now trying to force the issue into those castles. Praxes kind of fighting back, but on the other side, Rage again. Also still having some water left. Oh, now going for some towers. I'm not really sure how you can advance here now. I think you need a big double to really do something. Actually, Praxes is doing quite a good job here. Doing quite a bit of pop off, show off. Other side is super stable. And suddenly, true at only pop 160. But they're going for the big trade go, and that's completely unanswered for now. Quite a bit of shots. Okay, first castle down. Only 2 to go. And then they can sit here. Actually, only 1 to go. Okay, focusing down the left one first. And is there an answer on water? Well, Improviser isn't going for it. He's just focusing on land. They just showed them this as well, and now they're axing, and they're pop limit. They cannot answer this. They need to take land fights now. Otherwise they will just lose their trade. During that castle, not sure how well that works. They have 4 cannon guns shooting that castle, 2 cannon guns shooting that castle, so I believe you can repair against that. Question is for how long. And nice protection here with all those fast fires. You see that? Still super vulnerable to simply 5 demos could clear all of that up. He's repairing the castle quite nicely. It cost them quite a bit of stone though. And losing some traps at the front. Ah, this is so interesting. That castle's going down though. No repair on that. And now they could just position themselves over here. And that would be all the woodline and all the gold. At the same time, trying to push in over here. Rage still has a lot of castles left though. Before the trade goes down. Some stables of true. Siege workshop here as well. 5 to 10 demos would wreck that whole fleet. Yeah, absolutely agreed. Oh, it seems like QueNDi is just playing a little bit better at the moment. Simply that they are over here. Now they need just some galleons. Just 10 galleons. Could kill everything here. So many more fast fire ship for Rage. Why is he not going over there? And finally they're moving in. And that's completely unanswered. And that push is stopped. They're not pushing over here. Well, somewhat, but they don't have a lot of siege left. This has to be the GG. I don't see them clearing this up. Trade amount at the moment, 50. But there will be so much trade going down. Where's the answer? Improvise. Going for some galleons. Okay, well, that's okay. Fast fire's coming over though, without patrol. Now patrolling in. What is Praxes doing? He's going for some fast fires as well, but out of gold. Ay, now closing down the distance here, just completely smashing down all those galleons. Trade card amount is now at 40 only. Trying to rush in and fighting off some galleons. Obviously, if they kill all the galleons, that's fine for them. But more of Kellan are coming over now. Take a look. This time he's patrolling properly. Yeah, this just looks so dominant here for QueNDi. Don't really see how they can get pushed away from this. Not a lot of gold. Now Improvise is sending some more gold. They're trying to get another castle up, but honestly, trade card amount now. Soon to be under 30. They're somewhat holding it. The push now on the land should just be wrecking them. Yeah, look at that. QueNDi pushing on both sides here as well. And this is just such a good move for them. Well, the more galleons now coming over here. They could just position themselves here. And at the moment, 14 and 19. The push continues. Now they can just punish all the corners. They need to defend too much on the land. And this looks like QueNDi, with a pretty beautiful play all around, is saving the first game for themselves. And this is the 1-2 out of the view of QueNDi. Achievements. It's so active there. Lots of army from everyone. Really cool. Frank's player really going for it. In the end, as you can see, the gold control was really what hurt them in this game. And we get some more save games rolling, guys. QueNDi playing really well today. Kappa. Entirely different game if they had made a few demos. Okay. End of demo rant. Well, it is kind of tough, but yeah. Okay, let's take a look. I'm loading up game 4. I will take a small break. I will be back in 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will see game number 4. QueNDi A against QueNDi B. It will be for me, Zinka 1, Green Arabia. That's an interesting one. We played that quite a bit with Kellan. Let's see how he improved and what his thoughts are. I'm excited to see that, especially how Praxes and Improvise will play that as well. So yeah, going to be big. Let's see. I'm back in 2 minutes.
Rogan?
What happened here, guys? Welcome everyone from... Let's find that out. Mr. MamTV, thank you so much for hosting, guys. I'm at the moment Now, since I'm back casting QueNdi against QueNdi, just made myself some tea because I have a sore throat. I wanted to give my throat some love. Kappa Pride. So we will jump into game number 4 immediately because obviously I'm here to entertain you guys. And we will have Burmese and Inca War on Green Arabia. And yeah, the first 3 games have been very entertaining so far. And totally, thank you so much. 11 months in the house.
Nili, oh boy, only 1 month to go.
Exactly that. And let's jump into game number 4 here. We will have exactly what I said, the Burmese Inca War, and we will see how well these Kamayuks will perform against potentially elephants. Or let's take a look. Burmese are playing against Incas, so it will be cross position. The llama actually walking over there and is now in possession of Praxes. Oh no, even passing him. On the other side, we have Improvise sending his llama forward as well. And he is playing this quite open again. Not your typical DMR start. Lots of gaps in between there. And he will face over on the other side Rage playing the Burmese as well. Will be super interesting how this develops. Some eagle ratings and yeah, then going into Kamayuks most likely. Maybe some onagers, maybe some scorpions. We've seen a lot of different versions here. And I'm curious how this will be played out. Hassa are still very active here from the other side. To the moment, Praxes and some problems. Having 7 villagers only. Maybe some slingers even against the champions. We have figured out that Burmese champions are actually quite a nice unit as well, because you can fight off those eagles quite nicely with your 13 plus 7 damage. That's a sweet one. Over here, Rage with a huge shield in front of his base. Absolutely needs to control that one. Needs to castle that heavily. If he loses that, he obviously is out of the game. There's no way around it, but he has a short distance, so it should be his one for sure. Scorpions now doing the damage against the Halberdiers, and the villager actually is kind of getting out alive. Maybe we are fighting for that hill in the long run. That could be interesting. Halberdier, Kamayuk, and Slinger action here for Kellan. Praxes still going for his champion and elephant composition, mixing in some ram by now. Not too many scorpions just yet. He's giving them up now though. RiuT super annoying at that corner, and looks like Rage is taking pretty solid engagements, keeping up the production. Only has 4 siege workshops, 6 stables here at the front, getting his TCs up, and now the double I wanted to say, but it's only some Halberdiers, which won't do too much against that Kamayuk Slinger composition anyway, so that will just get smashed. But here is now doing some reasonable damage against those elephants, and Improvise trying to compete for that hill as well, but I believe his army is too weak at the moment. Some slingers are even over here, so that's pretty nice. Nice double for sure, and well, they are just designed to clear up those Kamayuks, but well, in low numbers for sure. Some scorpions from the back though helping out the help kind of, so it's helpception, and some eagles around. QueNdi winning. Rubenstock in the house, and yeah, with the big surprises. Oh, that castle I believe didn't even get cancelled. Really got denied there, and it seems like Rage will lose his castle though as well. 3 traps out there, and even on the hill he will not be able to hold this. Nice hill control though for Rage and True. Slingers around, and they just keep pushing over here, and as you can see, True is sending more and more army. Is he dying at the same time at home? Not really. Doing a great job here with his Kamayuks, trying to defend this so nicely. This looks pretty good for QueNdi to push this down here. Let's take a look what they can do. Those slingers on the hill still trying to do some damage, but they aren't that great against anything that isn't infantry. Now the elephant's pushing in. Let's take a look. Not 100% sure if that's the best engagement ever. So many Kamayuks in the back. That will be cleared up quite nicely. The elephants need to close down the distance against the scorpions here. Did actually focus on this one trap. I'm not 100% sure if I like that engagement too much from Rage there. Way too many Kamayuks. Not enough scorpions of his own there to support himself. Now the Schlinger is kind of exposed in the front as well. They need ramps here. Actually, ramps for QueNDi would be quite a nice addition for sure. Would buffer some shots of those scorpions. And what is that raid all about? Oh, trying to intercept some of Rage. Trying to go for the trade, which actually is kind of non-existent. Look at that, 5 trade cards only here for QueNDi. And well, those could all get cleared up here. Rage, oh, you're walking just a bit too far. That could have been ugly. Could have instantly reset it from 5 to 0. The other side, those slingers are kind of exposed. And as I said before, they won't perform too well if it's not only against champions. Some scorpions in the back just will wreck them apart. For me, it's not going for a lot of elephants here, and that's a lot of traps. We'll snipe castle after castle quite nicely, and look at that, QueNDi is taking that hill back. Something I didn't really think could happen, but what a beautiful patient play here by Improvise. Staying down here, shooting up with his traps, mass scorpion, mass Kamayuks, and in the end, Rage, probably not enough scorpions, not enough patience, and well, maybe traps were missing. Yeah, but he won't lose that hill in front of his base. Production is just too close. It's Kellan helping again. That will easily clear up those rams. And yeah, this looks like a pretty stable game at the moment. Love to see the castle getting up here. Still traps running around as well. This looks, I believe, a small advantage for QueNDi here. Just emotionally that they won that hill back as well. Now have the control, still sick armies around. And I think Kellan even needs to go for onagers to counter that. But first of all, they're trying to regain control of that hill here. And looks like they're doing quite well. But no traps, no rams for them really. Only one ram here of 2. But they have the numbers. Look at that, and a ram buyer doing reasonably well against all those Kamayuks. Now needs to go back and... well, it was a hill of Improvise and it was a hill of Rage. Now it was a hill of Improvise, and now they're on the verge of losing that hill again. Yeah, longer sauna break would have been nice. And I would have played every game with Orkut. Kappa. Tomorrow off again? No, why? I'm just not sleeping. Oh, some Rambites still trying to go for some kills here. Population's still pretty even. Nice. Go here to side with some elephants. Love to see some rams there as well, like those. Really played every game that would have won? Not really. I won 2 out of 5 games, I believe. Something like that. Orkut 2 out of 5 and Rune 2 out of 8 or something like that. This, yeah. Well, I won every game I played with Orkut, so maybe that was a killer team. Right. I believe that's good play, but not 100% sure. It doesn't really make sense to argue like that. I think we performed well, I think we could have performed better. It's all too reasonable. And now our next goal is to beat Tyrant Warlords, RiuT and Fire, and then to beat the loser out of this game, which will probably our next enemy in the loser bracket finals. I told you that all could play. Well, we let him play 4 games. They just sniped down. Not that it's too important, but Onager, well, got some kills done for sure. So big army here by Praxes. Interesting stuff how he is playing this so campy. So many scorpions out. Trade amount still not that great for QueNDi though here. 27 and 19 at the 21-minute mark. Only want to see higher numbers there. Take a look, Rage now coming over, and is he maybe clearing up all those scorpions if they are out of position? If they are just over here, they could get the perfect stuff done. One is just coming over as well. Let's take a look if they can flatten all the scorpions. Good shots to begin with this engagement. Let's take a look, Castle. Is it focusing down? I think he should even maybe try to cut some trees. And this looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. Praxes losing all his scorpions here. Not focusing down the onagers. And, well, that was a pretty clear up. Suddenly, Praxes pop 160. And his eco isn't the greatest either. H needs to hold over here. Now, finally, bombard cannons out for him. Something I would have loved to see so much earlier as well. Scorpions still holding the high ground here. Focusing down that castle, and now Kellan probably wants to push over here. Rams out, helping out, and Iron Warlords will lose to Naps though. Oh, okay. Well, it could happen. Could certainly happen. Now going on to massive Rambai is Mr. Praxes here. Doesn't want to lose his scorpions like he did before. Uh-oh, but those cameos, they have some damage output against those Rambai. And the Rambais don't really have that much damage outputs against the Rams here. Ah, yeah, and that castle before. At the same time, it's just kind of stabilizing. Slinger's helping out. This is another pretty close game. So far, every game went over half an hour. In this potentially 9-game series, we could be in for a very long evening. Take a look how this continues. Scorpions now falling back again. Oh, Rambai is trying to go for the next trade raid, but that shouldn't do too much. Spotted early. Lots of walls here. Beautiful move by Praxes. And getting more castles up. That's what Inca is for. Just spam hit with the castles here. Kellan at the moment not going for any traps is what I thought, but you know, there has one working on another castle here of Praxes, who has 7 castles left, so that's not the worst thing for him. But those cameo Rams are doing quite a reasonable job here. That's a pretty nice push. Oh, some idle villagers, not really worthy to check, but just got triggered by the X. Is he saving those castles? It doesn't look like it. The left hand side castle is going down, and now 6 Rams trying to charge on the other one, and that's, I believe, not enough counter. This is an army where you need to go back onto maybe even champions or some scorpions, or get some help with some slingers from the other side. Now some cameos are coming over, but counter the same, or counter unit with the same unit isn't really how it works. If Naps played like they did against QueNDi, they will win. Maybe, right? But it's still Tyrant Warlords, it's still RiuT and Fire. They can perform pretty strong as well. That will be a super interesting series for sure. I believe Monday 1 GMT we will have... Actually that's in only 3 hours, but I won't cast that. Slam and Spring against Spaden and Mentalist. That's going to be an interesting series for sure. Oh, quite a lot of damage here. Now pushing down another castle, going down to 3 castles only and improvise. Oh, he is now defending with some cameos. Isn't that interesting? Left hand side, still holding and fighting for that hill in the middle. Over and over and over again. Pushing into here. Spring and Slam got a shot? I don't think so. I think they will stream their point of view for sure. A lot of traps now to reach on TheViper. Praxes only at pop 150 at the moment, and this is quite a stable game. Don't really know who is advancing, who has the advantage here. Praxes not having the highest amount of resources, nor pop, so kind of have to give him, yeah, lower marks on the input in this game. But overall, I think it should still be quite tough to kill one. And yeah, I just put my T in before the game started, and now we have the 33-minute mark. That's going to be a strong one. Yeah, where do we see any advancing? Well, some over here maybe, but not really either. Cameos are really an interesting unit. So good against every cavalry like a halberdier, but so much better against anything else compared to a halberdier. It's black tea, and it won't be going bad anytime soon. You don't know me. Uh-oh, improvise. If he has a timing now. Trying to push. Kellan now coming over though, trying to clear this up. And that castle most likely will fall because the elephant won't do that much. Kellan will not really close from the distance, and that will be... Oh, that siege ram actually should focus on the castle. Can he maybe save this one? I don't really think so. Not really, but the army will get all cleared up for sure. Have some push here in the middle. No one is really going for the big trade rates. It's quite surprising to me. Praxes grouping up with quite a lot of army here. A bit surprising to me. So random ram go in the middle, but gets intercepted. Won't really do much. Some slingers will do some damage against the Kameyuk, so it won't be like super cost inefficient, but still. Oh, they are doing some damage, those slingers. Ay, 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 ay. That was a way better fight than I thought. For sure here. Okay, now wants to see a push over here. People not really creative. Just some sending 10 random rambis through all the castles. Not really the trade rate of my dreams either. I felt like, yeah, we survived. Those three. And just running into the next castle. Ay, ay, ay. Winning a tournament? Yeah, I've been debated. Ay, 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 ay. Well, at the moment, they aren't really winning anything. The push looks pretty strong here. Improvise. Now continues. Trying to pressure this left-hand side corner. Eyes of you score by Inca players. Scorps. Ah, okay. Well, Scorps are good against elephants, and Kameyuks are pretty good against elephants. So, yeah, I would love to see some more, but I don't really mind that at all. We did see some more scorpions at the beginning of the game. But you can see, they kind of get flattened. And Praxes had like 40 scorpions over here, which got cleared up at one attack. And to do, well, too little damage. Kellan now needs to clear that up, and that's again some traps. I absolutely love how QueNDi is playing this. They're playing this so well, all over attacks, and well, honestly, they look so much. We're back, guys. All good. Time to drink some tea. watching a full Nili stream, you have to debate it. Yeah, like Saturday and Sundays are so evil. I have no idea. But I have no idea, like, should I write to Twitch? What should I tell them? Like, your servers suck. Please fix them. I did something super crazy, now connected to London. Something I never did. I already had Berlin, Amsterdam, and Frankfurt today. So let's see if we can continue on a stable basis here with the London server. We obviously didn't miss any of the action. I instantly paused when I saw that the stream was dropping. Just asked because yesterday Viper and Rubenstock were pushing a lot with huge amount of Scorpions. Well, that's different matchups. And it was like super early. When Rubenstock and Viper played, the game didn't go to 25 minutes. We already had 43 minutes. So that changes a lot. Scorpions at the start are a bit better. Shark Slayer, you see. Just bought a subscription for Shark Slayer, you see. I have no idea how that worked. Okay, guys, we are back and let's continue with this. What did I just do? I unpaused in my router. That's weird. Okay, guys, let's continue. We still have the push here of Improvise. Only like 1.5 screens, 2 screens away from the trade. That's not really happening, but Praxes is kind of active over here as well. And Rage actually pop 182 out of 185 only. Needs to get more houses done, and 2 will lose another castle. He goes down to only 3 castles, and the other side Improvise has 11, so maybe the camera production is what will decide the game. This is normally a strategy only Jitba went for in the old days, for the snipe all the enemy's castles strategy. That could be an interesting one. Now going for mass champions as well. Yeah, gonna love that. And Scorpions getting flatted as well here, trying to go for the push, and Kamayuk's active as well. How well is QueNDi playing this over and over again? I'm super impressed by them for sure. Trap out at the front and getting the kills done. And oh, they're doubling beautifully here, getting some production. Like, QueNDi is playing so well. I'm honestly, when we lost against Tyrant yesterday, I thought, yeah, okay, let's see if we can get into the finals against QueNDi. But QueNDi is playing so sick here. I'm getting really scared of them. Like, they could easily take this serious as well. So I should get double scared. Oh god, so many Kamayuks out, look at that, and they are just going rampant here against all these elephants. And now Ramboys aren't doing much. Kellan is trying to come over, but with only 3 castles. His production won't be the greatest either. Traps now trying to pressure that castle of Rage, but no more villagers are building it anyways. Well, 1 is back now, but oh, he's fighting over here. Another defense by... Why is Rage having a massive amount of Scorpions over here? There, we got them. So 4 DM teams are just as strong. Jordan Improvise is playing beastly every single game. Baltic was kind of a screw up, but the rest was super nice. Oh, hello QueNDi here. Oh, hello QueNDi, true here. How much for Praxes? Ay, the burns are real, guys. QueNDi, favorite for a lot of people there to win the whole tournament. Are now in the verge of being in a very tough series here in the winner bracket finals. That's way earlier than they thought they would struggle, and QueNDi is just playing beautifully. They are now owning that hill that I said Rage will never lose. If he loses this, the game is over, and at the moment it seems like he's losing exactly that. And oh, sniping all those Scorpions as well. That's just beautiful. Beautiful play. And hello everyone from TheViper. We are just watching QueNDi against QueNDi. The winner will advance and will play against Viper and TaToH. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. We are in game number 4. This is a pretty intense war here on Incas against Burmese. Exactly the same settings we saw yesterday. So let's try and enjoy how this series continues. So far we had very close game after very close game. And sorry for the spoilers. Now trying to push over the hill here. Scorpions still around. Elephants trying to hold this. We are one screen away from the trade of QueNDi here, as we can see. The team that is already struggling. Quite a bit of a ram buyout. The main issue we have seen before is how many castles were already killed. That's why we see mass Kameyuk still out from improvise. Kellan on the other side struggling with that quite a bit. Military count only at 30 for him. We have QueNDi's both with 50s. And push over at the right hand side. Only with cap trams. Not the greatest thing ever. And Maramba is still holding this. Where are the onagers? Maybe need some scorpions as well. Rage is doing the great hold here at the 55-minute mark. And well, maybe some onager shots of improvise can now flatten all those scorpions. First good shot off. That's a nice start to maybe reclaim that. More Ramba is coming over now. We don't see enough scorpions out of Praxes here, if you ask me. And improvise maybe could mix in some slingers. Well, not really. Just go for the mass Kameyuks, mass rams, and they should have a nice control over here. Next onager shot is flattening quite a bit of scorpions. Quite nicely done here. And it feels like the bigger numbers for QueNDi that are pushing this hill slowly but surely. But mass amount of army still on that one. Not fighting with everything. Trying to regroup and trying to get better engagement. If they get into the control of that hill and can pressure over and over again with no more stone left for QueNDi, they are just in beautiful position. Trying to get more stables up here is Mr. Praxes. What a beautiful game we're witnessing, and at the same time he is pressuring Mr. True, probably the best player, or TM player in the world, together with TheViper, arguably. And we will see how he plays this out. No more buildings at the moment. I think we need to see some more siege as well. Maybe some more rams of our Inca player. Would really help out here at the right hand side. But the push continues, and True at the moment not really having a lot of answer. Loses his archery ranges and therefore no chance of slingers, and that's just super unprotected here. Aye. So now it's two sportsmen, only one screen away from the trade. Or actually, Rage kind of stabilized, so no, but look at that. Some Kameyuks, and they are actually pretty well at killing trade. Let's take a look. But Slinger's coming over and we'll take good care of those. Let's see. Oh, beautiful block there with the siege workshop. Last second block, and those Slingers are just killing all those Kameyuks. Denied for now. Now big engagement here over at the main side, and that seems like all the Scorpions are dying. Rage trying to get back control of that hill, but it feels like too many Rambas doing some damage in the back. Kameyuks now pushing here as well, and Rage is giving up his hill, and that's a crucial hill in front of his base where all his production is. Maybe we can even see improvise rushing some villagers over and get a cast up. Look at that. Indeed, he's doing that in exactly that moment. Now at the 1 hour mark that he is trying to control this, and what a beautiful move. If they can hold this, I believe they will win this game. Getting pushed back here at the right hand side is Mr. Praxes, though. They are only focusing on this, and this is so many Kameyuks. Look at that, 60 military from our Inca player, and that's only Kameyuks. Doesn't even have enough pop to send too many villagers over to build that castle. But if this castle goes up and he has another production there for his Kameyuks, this is looking so well for them. This is castle number 13 on the other side. QueNDi only has 5 in total. Guys, this is a best of 9 series, so we can be in for quite some more games. What a treat to be around for this series. Slingers still trying to hold off here, but Elephants, once they close down, they obviously chew them away. And look at that, now that's a 2-hit. And those Slingers are dying so easily. Getting control of that, and another castle even. So maybe some traps are coming out now, sniping down all those stables. And there's not a lot of production left from Rage here. Pop 150 for him, and we are only half a screen away from the trade. Praxes still pop limit. So is Improvise. On the other team, Rage is just struggling so heavily. Let's take a look at the resources of True. He still has quite a solid amount of resources, but the production isn't even running. What is he going for at the moment? He's not really producing anything. Only Slingers. That's not really the answer to what is getting thrown at them, and they realize exactly that. And now, oh, even TaToH hosting. Thanks so much, guys. And this is 3-1 for QueNDi. And they are actually kind of the underdogs in this one. Quite a surprise and an interesting game. The trade was running so well for them, and I believe Kellan just spread too many times. RiuT didn't take the greatest engagement there with the Scorpions, then lost this hill, which was very heavily fought off, and Improvise is playing like a true beast. What a great match here, and we will pretty soon jump into game number 5 here. Achievements. Improvise just fighting so much. RiuT losing quite a lot of his base as well. So much more food from as well. That amount of castles, 16 castles in the end, and we only had, I believe, 3 and 2 left. Exactly. Brutal stuff. I hope you're in for some more DM action, because this series is about to end too quickly. We will play till someone has 5 wins, and the next map will be game number 5, Golden Crater Captain's Mode. Interesting stuff. So let's take a look at the link for the Captain's Mode. So left hand side will be QueNDi with a weird flag, and right hand side QueNDi. As we all know, guys, the first ban will be the global ban over here. So that is banned Saracens for both teams. Slavs is banned for both teams now as well. Now we have one individual ban for the enemy team. Some Hippo love were banned for both enemies. And now the picks are Huns and Spanish. That's interesting. Huns, obviously you don't need to build houses super fast. Spanish, you have stronger villagers, you have better trade. Not sure how important that will be though on Golden Crater. I still have a headache from Liquor League. No, I was kind of ill during the whole week and didn't give myself any time to rest, and it was ugly. Okay, Burmese and Teutons now banned. Teuton is interesting. That kind of indicates that QueNDi wants to go for... No, Saracens is a global band. Interesting. Still have we don't have an elephant civ yet. So maybe QueNDi can still go for... I believe QueNDi will go for Burmese now. And QueNDi desperately needs something against horses and elephants. Maybe Celts? QueNDi maybe Celts? QueNDi maybe Burmese? I could see that coming. Spanish as well, and Incas. Ay. I'm not sure if Incas are that good. Well, Incas are so good against... they probably expected another elephant civ there. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So Spanish and Huns against Spanish and Incas on Golden Crater. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how this will work out, guys. And nicht tot. What? Oh god, my voice is breaking. Yeah. Thank you so much using for Twitch Prime, subscribing for free. And we are jumping into game number 5 here. 3-1 lead for the kind of underdogs, QueNDi, which are performing amazingly in this series. So let's take a look how this continues. And oh, some background music off, and we'll see. Praxes playing the Spanish. His teammate Improvise needs to have a beautiful hold here with his Incas, and he was trying to go for the so-called clump, building a lot of houses to protect your villagers. Remember guys, we are playing no wall mode in this tournament, so you cannot really wall. Those were 2 outposts. On the other side we have QueNDi, top 2 players in the world, going for the Spanish. His teammate Mr. Rage Wayne, they have been teammates for at least 4 or 5 years now, going for the Huns and mass amount of stables here, going for the pure aggression. Improvise will try to hold, will try to go for onto some siege workshops as well. I think going for castles would have made so much more sense. Let's take a look how the aggression continues over at the right hand side here. If we can see some villager kills, which is quite rare in Spanish war, but seems to happen nonetheless. And the most important thing will be though how the left hand side Improvise will hold this with only halberdiers against a Hun player who will go for some very heavy aggression. Now even goes for the market, and we will see how his gold will jump pretty soon. He is queuing up all the stables. Look at that, archery rangers are getting produced as well, halberdiers, and look at that pop difference already for him. He has 60 pop, and now we can see the market being used. Look at that, 1.6k gold, and now jumping to 4.3k gold, and therefore his Paladin MCA production will just get heavily into the direction of the 100 pop at the 4-minute mark, which is kind of what you're aiming for with the Huns. He is at 86, which is quite massive as well, and now is continuing his raid. On the other side, Praxes 20 pop behind Shu as well. He was going actually for quite a lot of hand cannoneers here. That castle of Praxes will go up though. Let's take a look. Kellan is a guy who, if he sees the timing, is just patrolling in relentlessly with so many rams trying to stay active. On the other side, Kamayuks are out. Rage needs some help here, maybe in the long run. But for now, he's just focusing on Paladin, heavy CA. Kamayuks could maybe be the perfect counter to that. Rage still active, trying to get some kills done, but it looks like Mr. True Kellan, the star player in the Emerald, is just running over Praxes here. Did get some villager kills and then outproduced. Look at that, 4 stables again and 6 barracks. Compare that to 5 stables, 5 barracks, followed up by some archery rangers. Maybe did focus on castles early. Was Mr. Praxes trying to come over, is now Improvise trying to save him, but populations are just so brutal. Pop 40 to pop 110, and we have Improvise with pop 120 is now getting a big push into his face when all the rams are sieging up and trying to go for it. Even if they hold this, even if they control Praxes, or prevent him from dying, the center control is so important, and that's heavily in favor of QueNDi at the moment. Another castle going down, pop 35 only for Praxes. He is in a world of trouble. This castle might go up, but for how long? I don't think it will be for too long. Trying to set up trade. They're actually controlling 3 corners as well, which obviously is a horrible thing for the team that only has 1 corner here. This castle indeed is going up, but so many halberdiers, conquistadors. This will just run him over. Pop 180, and look at that. Now too much stuff running over for Improvise, trying to save his teammate, and that means his castles are under heavy threat, and if those castles are dying, no more Kamayuks, and this will not be a successful hold. Not enough defense here. I think he did send too much. He needed to rely on Praxes kind of holding on his own, and Mr. True just ran over Praxes and won him the game. Castle number 1 is down, still 170 pop, and that's 130 army here for Rage. Just a brutal beast at pushing those numbers quite nice and early. That castle actually knight here. Oh, need to send some more villagers over, and they are charging up. CA doing reasonably well against those Kamayuks if they can fight from distance, which they're trying to do again now. Oh, Praxes, she's stabilizing here. He's at pop 60 again. Kellan has all those castles up. They're controlling way too much of the middle at the moment. No control at all for QueNDi here. This castle did go up, and well, Improvise somewhat solid with this transition into Samiko. Praxes kind of stabilizing as well, and I thought this could be an 8-minute game. It seems like Improvise did play this one beautifully, did hold at the right hand side, and it feels a bit like the Incas could be the counter to that composition. Improvised KD is nice, indeed. 400 to 300 roughly there, and that's against Spanish and Huns, which aren't really that trash heavy. Quite nice stuff for him. On the other side, Praxes, the heavy low KD though. But Praxes lives, look at that! He is up to 90 military, yeah, only 16 villagers, that's a big problem. The both QueNdis in their 80s and 90s, so they will have a beautiful transition there in the long game, but maybe they will just die before that against all those Kameyuks. And how do you defend against those? Hand cannons maybe? Maybe some conquistadors? But what is your meat shield? It is tough to touch. Well, the big problem is the gold income. At the moment, look at that. Not even a dozen of villagers on gold. So much more for Kellan here. Oh, Rage. Only now sending back, but he has a lot of markets that will now start to produce. But improvise, leading in score, and trying to charge up for the next push. Some beautiful rage by Rage though. That's a brutal push. What do they have to counter those Kameyuks? Hunt. Not really. Nili sick yo? Yes, very sick yo, sadly. What's the answer to the Kameyuks? Skirms. Not really. We're trying to spread around, trying to raid some more eco, trying to play the mobility card. But Praxes now coming over with Champalins as well, and he should chase that quite nicely. Not a lot of siege out of True at the moment. Lots of Harbours to defend still. And well, what is Kellan really doing? The only thing that is going well is really the gold, but improvise. And Praxes, they are getting back onto the gold as well. Sensei is blocking that though. Left hand side corner, still not controlled. No, the drinking wasn't it. I was kinda ill before that. Uh-oh. Another army of QueNDi shredded. Pop 140, pop 160 for QueNDi. Will there be an answer to the Kameyuks? The only thing that is going for QueNDi at the moment is still gold control and maybe some eco control overall. But they have more map control, still very active. But well, Kameyuks aren't too gold intense and they have some gold control in the middle. I think this could be the game for QueNDi. No trade yet. That's a real big thing. Ay. That mining camp blocking quite heavily. Not the most beautiful thing in the world. Game kind of stabilizing at the moment. Which is pretty good for QueNDi. I think QueNDi should really force the issue more. 76 military and 52 for them. Where is it? Okay, well they're trying to raid some more on the gold. Maybe going for too many Harbours if you ask me. They really don't know what to build against Kameyuks. Leave hand cannoneers could really be the option. Praxes eco still horrible. Yeah, that's true. And getting more and more kills against them as well. 67 villagers only. Trade cards 14 and 1 for improvise. A lot of hurt village or exposed villagers here at the front as well. And Praxes going for that amount of Harbours. I think before you waste that food, you should maybe sling improvise even onto more Kameyuks, who is now trying to come over here. Maybe, well, oh god, I shouldn't ask those questions if China's here, but do Spanish have heavy scorpions? I don't think they have them. Let me quickly look. And I was right. Yes, for a change. So not even that is a counter against Kameyuks. Huh. So maybe really conquistadors with some champions in the front against the Kameyuks? Is that the answer? We'll see. At the moment the answer feels like controlling the... yeah, and Shine not really happy. Yeah, but I guessed right. That's the most important thing. Ay, ay, ay. Shine hating me for not knowing stuff like this since 2003. Let's not go into the debate what civilization has siege engineers, or what civilization has treadmill crane, or what civilization has shipwright, or what civilization has fast fire ship. Ay, ay, ay. Face palming since 2003. Mr. Shine listening to Nili, trying to learn the game. Okay, let's continue on this one. QueNdi still pretty active, but so many raids over here. And Praxes, he is getting quite a lot of losses here in his base. Trying to get another castle up, but exposed over here. I love those two barracks. Trying to donut that area, but enough champions around. Trying to go for more paladins. And Kellan is just playing this quite nicely here. Bombard cannons around as well. Paladin, Conquistador, kind of the combo you want to go for if you're Spanish. Praxes just losing so much ground. And, well, at 90 villagers now, but trade amount still at 11 and 24. Better trade that we can see on the other side. And they still have some gold control in the middle as well. QueNdi somewhat intercepted. And now Scorpions are coming over, but Scorpions against what really? I'm not 100% sure. Praxes now, pop 137 out of 155, but that will get way lower since he will lose at least 2 more castles and a lot of houses, so he really needs to replenish those. Otherwise, those resources will not be well spent. Look at that, Kellan playing the whole Mishi resources there, and that castle is going down in 143 out of 80. Ay, that's just super brutal. But QueNdi now coming over, which always means they win another fight. Oh, look at those quick walls here. Improvise playing a beautiful game again. And he is really keeping them in this game. Just think about it. Praxes was basically dead at the 6-minute mark. And I thought it would be like a 7-8 minute game. But Improvise is keeping them in this one. He is still at pop 170 and is keeping Praxes somewhat alive. Why is he not building 50 houses there? Oh yeah, exactly. Build some new houses at the front. Ay. That's not a clever move if you ask me. More paladins raiding into Improvise, and they're doing this so nicely. Really abusing their mobility with their past civilization, their Spanish and the Huns. And remember guys, we were talking about the gold quite a bit. Spanish trade also something that QueNdi team can rely on here. Oh, but those are some nice kills. But now charging up with quite a strong army here. Paladin and Conquistador, full group, 60 military, and now all those rams are coming in. I believe Praxes will be housed again. Where did he build new ones? I don't really know, but look at those farm eco, not the worst. Let's take a look at the armor of those QueNdi. They're benefiting from the special tech, obviously from the Incas, quite a bit. And our Rage is coming over here as well. And that will be, well, again, quite a lot of dead houses. I don't really see how Praxes can hold this now, trying to go for the quick walls here, but there are already so many paladins out. Needs to send them into the TC. And Praxes didn't really get into the phase where he could really build a strong army all game long. Maybe should have gotten more slings for Improvise, who has quite a lot of resources and now exactly paying the resources at the right moment. But, well, how much does Praxes really have at the moment? He has... not really a lot of production, and most of it is going down. Now queuing up massive amount of paladins, but yeah, as I said before, building the houses at the front was maybe not the most clever idea I've ever seen. The castle going down, and those, oh god, Conquistadors, they're really having a nice field trip. Getting all the kills in and some CA raids. Well, only got some trade, not the most important thing. And rage, just going for the beautiful Han army, mass CA, mass paladins, trying to be annoying, trying to trap down more castles. Look at that, overall castle amount, 6 for Improvise, 0 castles. Oh god, Kellan just misclicked to the right hand side, but that was all walled, running into those QueNdi. Trying to find a beautiful spot here, and actually that's quite a solid spot there for 25 Conquistadors to park. And the regression just continues. Still, improvise. Holding on to the dear life of his team with pop 200. 109 villagers. Trade is now pretty solid for them. But Spanish against non-Spanish. Another go into those castles. If they can get improvised down to maybe 3-4 castles, it will completely change how they can fight over and over again, because that improvise cannot replenish his cameo count that easily. Now trying to go onto those traps. Two already down over here at the right hand side. Now the others going down at the front as well. This looks like a reasonable engagement here for improvise. Kills quite a bit of paladins, but also loses quite a bit of the Kamayuks. And this trap seems to be surviving. Okay. But repairing that castle, and that's obviously super cheap for the Inca bonus. And yeah, exactly that is what I was expecting. Not a lot of army coming over here. That meant he was changing his waypoint. So now we are looking at the left hand side go. One onager, probably not enough to defend this off, guys. True and Rage trying to go for the kill. They are having the advantage for quite some time now, but not really closing it out. CA trying to help with the conquistadors now. I believe maybe sending some conquistadors over to the left hand side could have worked out as well. Onagers trying to defend here, but at least this siege workshop is going down, and now the army of Rage should come in. I can see only one castle and not at the best spot ever, so maybe the CA can get down all the trade. X at the left hand side over here. Why is that? I don't really know. Maybe some idle army before that. And Rage is running through here as well, is trying to charge the bottom and the top when it comes to trade raiding. Is getting that castle down. Looks good for QueNDi's comeback for sure. Could deny all of that farm equally as well. We see Praxes is there. CAs running into the Kamyuks. I think they will die eventually, but just this is completely unanswered. Trade amount still in the around 80 for QueNDi, but I don't really see them getting onto the high numbers, and those Rams can now just take good care of those markets. No chance of improvise to close down the distance that early, and even going for eagles now. I'm not 100% sure why. Market number 1 down. Market number 2 will go down pretty soon as well. Market number 3 needs to be saved. Eagle warriors now splitting up, and it seems like they can indeed save number 3. And Rage trying to snipe down another castle, and that's what I said. That's a potential strategy against everyone who heavily relies on his unique units to snipe down castle after castle. This snipe won't be that efficient, will not actually kill the castle, but still, I like the idea quite a lot. And this of Rage wasn't as successful as I thought it would be. Improvise again holding, and again keeping his team in this game. We are now at the 40-minute mark, and I said it several times, I thought this could be a super short one. And now Kellan even so desperate that he's trying to fight with villagers. What is going on? Oh, that's a lot of conquistadors at the front. They're dying. TAs dealing quite a lot of damage, but now they need to micro this back, and that's normally not a typical deathmatch move. Trying to micro ranged units here. Trying to go in for the trade, but running through so much army and getting, yeah, quite a lot of losses. They're already on the way. Let's take a look. But maybe can charge in there. Same time, improvise, getting another castle up, replacing those markets, doing all the right steps. Kellan is actually in there. Trade amount is still around 80 though, but mainly for Praxes now. Map control though feels like 75 to 25% at the moment. We've added onagers against the conks. Not really. You can just spread them around. You always have paladins around as well. This game is pretty nice, Mike. Absolutely agreed. Nili, are you tired? Super tired. If it wasn't for that series, I would be sleeping. Would try to rest. Would try to recover. But the addiction is too real. I cannot leave this game uncasted. Praxes stabilizing here. They are making another go into the trade. QueNDi is blue-red, yes. Trade cards going down quite nicely here. A lot of paladins, so that will be cleared up, but, well, some trade card will go down for sure. CA now splitting off, trying to take another engagement, but paladins are around over here as well. At the same time, Chu is going for another engagement, charging up again. Nice amount of rams, still some traps around, and Praxes 160. So big map control for the QueNDi team. Trying to group up some stuff over here again. One castle only as the defensive improvise. And Kellan taking quite a nice engagement here, and that's not a lot of Camayukes left. 5 castles for our Inca player. Is maybe Inca the strongest civ of them all? It feels like they're countering Huns and Spanish so well as Camayukes. Moment, not in the highest numbers, but are charging up here again. What do you really want to have as a buffer in the front? Paladins? Doesn't really seem to be the greatest choice. Conquistadors need to take some shots as well. Kellan just retreating, trying to help out some with his castle, taking care of that. Karambit. Camayuk. And traps maybe need to recharge. Low stables at the moment. Again, Praxes 150. And Rage. Oh, he gets another castle. That's a sweet win for them. Down to 4. Praxes at the same time got 1 castle of his own. And is now trying to go on to Conquistadors. 140 and 190. Is improvised maybe slowly losing. Let's take a look at his resources. Resources are still looking very strong for him. Camayukes amount. He is at 57 Camayukes. Oh, that could be interesting here with some traps and maybe a ram go into the market. Could be another sneaky move and some CA in the trade again. Trade amount still pretty solid for QueNDi as well. Both with a Spanish trade. Not too bad when it comes to the overall gold income for them at the moment. But Praxes, only 50 villagers. Maybe he doesn't have enough food. Let's take a look at his resources as well. At the absolute limit with everything. And it feels like True wants to push in here. Some CA of Rage are coming over, not 100% why. And that's a lot of Camayukes. Will clear that up. So that means at the other time, there should be no answer to Rage push over here. I think Rage at the left hand side should clear this up. Kellan now should give the info over. Okay, there are 40 Camayukes here. Please push over at your side. That's super crucial, and that's exactly what Rage is doing. Market number 1 is down. Market number 2 is getting attacked here as well. Siege Workshop will go down as well. All the Camayukes are dying at the same time. Kellan is trying to micro this as good as he can. Let's take a look. Market number 2 indeed is going down as well. Now the CA are coming over. The traps should just move and kill that market. More Camayukes, but that will be an interesting spot to fight against all those CA. Does he have any onagers out? Not really. And that will be quite some losses on the villager count here. Question is, those traps, should they go for the castle? Should they go for the CA? I have no idea. Camayukes now, obviously that's so good. They have this one range there, but still, that's a kind of inefficient fight for them as well. The siege rams now kind of blocking, but also kind of soaking the damage, and Improvise has to tap out. This game felt over very early on, but Improvise played his heart out. He is playing so much better than everyone thought. What a beautiful game by him again. Praxes never really fully recovered after he got smashed down so heavily early on, and poof, QueNDi really struggling to close out this game. They did all the right steps, used their mobility, went in for the raid, ram attacks at all spots over and over again, tried to snipe down the castle. In the end, Improvise only had 3 castles, so I believe they did all the right steps, but poof, that was a tough one. Donate. What do you want? Donate. You want to donate to me or you want to donate to the tournament? See that face in the minimap? This one. Or where do I need to look? See that sad face? Not really. Yeah, the question is, do you want to donate to me or do you want to donate to the prize pool of the tournament? Oof, what a beautiful game, guys. And we're still up for some more. This was game number 5. Game number 6 will be Japanese and Persians on the map pack. For everyone who's new to this format, map pack means Prairie, Golden Crater, Green Arabia, Baltic, Team Islands, and Atacama. Donate to Nili, that was the plan. Very generous of you. And then I believe this is the link to go to. Oh no, that was YouTube. That was someone else. I will take that back. Why did I paste that? That's the right one. Okay, guys. Oof, game number 6. Let me take a look. And pass them in. Sitting in the bio? Yeah, he was on his phone. Hopefully it's Team Island so we can see towers. Nili, how was the game versus TheViper and TaToH? Please no one spoiler. Exclamation mark TLC2 will help you with the bracket. And my YouTube channel as well. Improvise is amazing. Yeah. I'm super pleased with how well he's playing as well. Okay guys. Do you play other games except AoE? Or other exists? Not really. I only play Age of Empires. I had a long time that I played Counter-Strike, but when 1.6 died, I completely quit that. Yeah. But that's it. Need more cameos and stand ground patrol. It's hard to mic from DM, but would kill most very fast. I heard you rumors you will cast a rematch between Viper plus Jordan vs Rocket Bean TV. I haven't heard of that match. I haven't got any message about that. So interesting rumors. Momentum sound great. Agreed. Okay guys, map pack, Persian, Japanese war. That's going to be interesting, for sure. Launching this up, and this is going to be game number 6 in this best of 9 series. The winner will face Viper. Oh no, spoiler alert. The winner will face Viper and TaToH in the winner bracket finals. Okay guys, let's see. And the map is Prairie, so we are starting with 2 scouts here, and we don't have any hills on this map. Otherwise it is yeah, pretty similar to Arabia. Very short distance here, and we have a Japanese-Persian war. So let's take a look how much damage Praxes can do on the very short distance here. And yeah, Viper won against us. Was a very entertaining close series though. So, oh god, and that's a lot of damage here that Improvise is doing against Rage. Look at that, Rage is completely idle. Ay. Now the Halberdier is out, and that was a horrible start by Rage. Let's take a look at the other side. We had some small losses as well. Improvise actually lost 2 villagers there, and not a lot of houses at the moment by Praxes, and those are horrible starts. The one it feels like True might have even had the best one, but everyone got heavy damage against the 2 early scouts out here. This is a very aggressive map. It's tough to play. Like me playing DM, well, it's a big difference to face 1 scout or 2 scouts. And he is going for more kills. Look at that, 2 more hits, 1 more hit, and oh, got something into the TC the last second. Now going down to 4 villagers is RiuT here. Really in some troubles here. On the other side though, Kellan going for mass stable, mass CA, trying to go for some aggression. Let's take a look how Praxes will play this out, if he will have enough halberdiers. And oh god, he's going for a lot of siege. Why is no one quick walling? Because we are playing with no wall mod and no bomber tower mod to make the games more entertaining. That's a good question. Kellan now trying to get some TCs out at the front. I think a castle first would have made more sense, because that village is way too exposed now. And that's a lot of halberdiers. Let's take a look how this will play out. Praxes with way more population. Improvise on the other side. Seems like he wasted quite a bit here. And he is playing this Persian style pretty interestingly. Look at that, mass barrack, mass siege workshop, and only now switching into some castles and elephants. And Kellan played this completely stable archery range. So 2 completely different approaches here on how to face the Japanese army. You can quick wall with houses and barracks too, yes. But as I said before, look at the distances, how close they are together. And you have 2 hussars under your TC in 30 seconds. Good luck quick walling that. Okay, first elephants now out, and they are fighting off against those heavy CA instead of the halberdiers, so that's pretty sexy for them. Not a single monastery out this far for Praxes, not a lot of scorpions out either. And Kellan, he is sending over some paladins. 100% sure how efficient that will be though. And Praxes, probably the guy with the highest population in the moment. Lots of halberdiers, and if he adds some traps, I believe he will be in quite a fine position. Mostly at least 1 villager dies. On Prairie, that's total standards to lose 1 villager. On other maps, not that much. It is just super tough. Remember also we are playing on fast speed, so walling is way tougher, even quick walling with houses, than in normal Age of Empires. Kellan continues with this push here, but so much lower when it comes to the population here, and that's a lot of heavy CA out of his Japanese. Wow. It's a very disturbing mode. It's action pure. Pure action. It's deathmatch. Corner control now by Improvise. Pretty tough one. Kellan's controlling this corner quite nicely. Easy corner control for Mr. Rage. Corner control for Praxes. But got denied quite a bit here. Let's take a look how this continues. Praxes completely out of wood already. Oh, that's interesting. And now he is adding some monasteries as well. Wants to get some converts against this elephant. It looks pretty nice for him. He's at pop 190. Kellan only at pop 105. Maybe the return from the game before, the reverse kill. Kellan with the better KD. Well, that's how Persians work, right? Not a lot of war elephants, but they are powerful. Before that he went on to heavy CA and paladins. Those had Praxes, heavy CA, and halberdiers. The elephants now charging in. Let's take a look. Some combat would be so nice. Halberdiers are now coming to the front. I think Kellan's push won't really happen here. CA now charging in as well. Let's take a look how those halberdiers will perform. They need to really get the distance close there against the elephants. Improvise now coming over though as well, and that's completely unanswered for Kellan here, who has a pop 110, might lose that castle and then lose a lot of control of all this area. Let's take a look at his resources. He is trying to get some more eco up, and he's actually doing quite a good job with that, as some TCs running. Some elephants over here, and that's a lot of scorpions here by Rage. Would love to see some more traps, or maybe even some bombard cannons against that army here, but against Japanese traps, That's kind of tough to micro as well. Most important thing is the push though over here. Kellan desperately trying to get some castles up. This is going to be very tough though. So many traps out, and halberdiers going for the charge here at the front. Kellan, can he hold this? It doesn't seem like this castle will stay for too long. 5 Japanese traps out, more castles coming over. Those elephants not eating too much damage from the CA, but scorpions and halberdiers are out as well, trying to jump into the castle. Next castle is up, but the traps will just be so quick to come over and force this down. The trade in some real troubles for them. This looks very good for QueNDi here to take the 4th map for them. Elephants, very bad waypoints for them, taking so much damage. Halberdiers now getting all the kills, and this looks for like game number 4 for QueNDi might be real. They played this so beautiful again. Praxes with the very patient play, mass heavy CA and Halberdiers. Kellan going for a weird paladin CA push. He told us that this is a great new way to play this, and we all questioned him. He tried it in this game and he's kind of getting punished for this, and at the same time didn't really have any answers to the elite war elephants as well. He didn't really have the eco to go for halberdiers himself. Now losing all his CA, trying to go for some siege workshops in the corner, maybe trying to get some sneaky attack later on rolling for him. Got a lot of gold from Page paid there. So 74 villagers for him. QueNDi players basically maxed out there. Perfect eco setup. Trade, something they could really improve on though. 0 trade cards so far by Improvise, and this corner is getting pressured as well. Maybe the Japanese player on the other side is pushing this as well. At the moment, Praxes not completely destroying Kellan. He's still at pop 100. But even if they lose this corner, still feels like they have way too much map control, and Kellan is just super struggling. Trying to get more stuff up, trying to get more barracks running, but he loses that food eco. Completely over, and how can he kill those heavy CA? At the moment, no onagers, no real paladins, no elephants for him. And speaking of elephants, another raid coming in his back. He is super house as well. This is just very problematic for him. Going for the short distance trade here, not really an efficient thing either. Praxes should use his traps a bit more. That gold is now in control of Praxes as well. So even if they lose that corner, and that's what they did, not the end of the world, because A, they got this corner, and B, they got quite a bit of control of the gold from Kellan anyways, so it doesn't hurt them that much. TaToH running around trying to find some more trade routes to raid, maybe some more food eco, but well, there's not that much to raid. Now running into some CA at least, into some trade cards. And they are just getting shredded here. See, some got through, but I don't think that they will really get back. More castles here. Kellan pop 120, everyone else is basically pop limit. That's still a very nice army by Rage, but well, he's not really holding the center here, and not really giving Rage again, and this amount of gold tributed. Okay, Kellan will clear this up eventually. That's just so costly. At the same time, he's just losing so much ground at the front. That will be mass amount of houses going down as well. Why is he building houses at the front as well? Losing so many farmers here. This is a really tough spot. Samurais now charging down, and they are just eating those CAs in the small numbers as well. Kellan still pop 115, 175 is his house cap, but I'm not sure if he will ever reach that again in this game. Some Scorpion engagement now against the Halberdiers, and if all the Halberdiers would die, maybe some Paladins could come around, but for now, maybe even some Onagers could clear this up. Let's take a look, not getting any shots off, and this could have been way better for Improvise. This market is now destroyed as well. Another castle is getting attacked, and all those CA, I believe in the end died. Or did they get back alive? Doesn't look like it. Monks still out, I believe. Can't even deleted his own elephant there. Something we don't see the Emmas do at all. Finally only just getting some connections. Took me half the match to understand CA's calf archers. Well, glad that he got that now. Could have also asked. Chat is super friendly and helpful. Some more paladin raids here. Trying to get into this area, and oh, QuEnDi is now setting up their trade as well. But that's instantly spotted by QuEnDi, and they're even trying to chase down some of the trade cards. Not really. Improvised Praxes somewhat dropping in the score. Trade cards, so much better for them though. And as I said before, control over the main gold spot. I believe Praxes needs to switch into more Scorpions and Halberdiers again. I'm not too happy with that mass CA anymore. What's the answer to those mass Scorpions? Is it really elephants? But I think yes it is. Oh god, there's no more protection for these Scorpions. Look at that. Elephants are now chasing down some Paladins, would actually be super great as well. But I'm not sure if he ever built any stables. Maybe some in the middle. Yes, he did indeed. And all those Scorpions are now... What is happening here? Fight! What is... Okay. Now they thought better of it. And the push continues here. That's way too many heavy CA, I believe, for this situation. And oh god, those are brutal raids here as well. Raid is in some trouble now as well. Let's take a look at his resources. Well, Trade is actually going through his whole base, so that's not great. And he's at pop 187, so that's basically pop limit as well. But Kellan losing his eco over and over again. Slowly going onto that gold spot. Trade amount 20. Compare that to the close to perfect scenario with 60 here of our QuEnDi who are now killing all the heavy Scorpions, and then it's getting really tough for raids to hold this. Yeah, Halberdiers will close this up in the end, so it was okay. Yeah. Oh, that quick wall didn't really happen. What is he? Okay. Well, that villager will try to get that castle up in the long run, as it seems. And Praxes, he is not going for the right army, if you ask me. That's way too many CA. They were good at the start, but now they aren't the optimal unit. Scorpions should be the way better one. Speaking of Scorpions, uh-oh, those elephants now are in the center of the Scorpions, and if they can once get there and get the hits off, this looks so good for them. Tearing down Scorpion after Scorpion. Beautiful stuff here by Improvise. And now the traps moving forward. Kellan, I have no idea how many traps castles he lost this game. 8, 10, something like that. But this castle won't be saved either. That leaves the trade just super open again. 90 pop 4-2. It kind of felt like stabilizing at 120, but that didn't happen, and this market is going down as well. And I believe with this, the hopes of QuEnDi to still win this game. And this is the 4-2 for QuEnDi. Can someone explain which team Praxes and Improvise belong to? A or B? B. Ay, 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 ay. They are playing damn well. Achievements. Kellan in the end got the most kills? How did that happen? The guy who completely died. Huh. Maybe he was still against Japanese, as it seems. His eco was so small, and the trade never really got running there for QuEnDi. Are you surprised, Nili? Yes. Very surprised how this is going. Normally QuEnDi should have been the clear favorite. I have a sore throat, yeah, it's super bad. I already drank tea today, which I never ever do. I really don't like tea and I drank 2 teas today. And I will need to talk so much more in the upcoming days as well. Pretty ugly. Might even skip my stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. I'll make it a very short one. Yeah, I don't like tea. I don't drink coffee as well. I'm not the big fan of hot drinks. Okay, next one is Team Island's Captain's Mode. Let's get Blink for game number 7. And guys, this is match point for QueNDi. And actually I have 3 match points. It's pretty easy. Now on Team Islands, Prairie and Green Arabia, I think they will seriously get one. QueNDi global banning. The first 2, like this one and this one, are the global bans. Then we have 1 round of individual ban. So now we should see something like Byzantines. Not even hot chocolate. The white one sometimes. What are the top tier tips right now? I have to say, oh god, no one banned Byzantines. That's interesting. Okay, so QueNDi banned Chinese. Japanese were banned. That's bad, I believe. Byzantines should just wreck. And they're picking Chinese and Japanese. Ay, 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 ay. I believe those bans are pretty bad by the teams. Okay, now Byzantines are banned. Well, Chinese are such a good civ. The extra builds, yeah. Just start with so many more. And Japanese no heavy demo sucks. Yeah, but they have Shipwright and Treadmill Crane. Interesting. All questions, what else you want to ban? Britons and Turks. Okay. Interesting. So Britons is normally the Tyrant Pleb ban and Turks would be the Rubenstock ban. Interesting approaches. Also 5 more pop space at the start, yeah. How good are Portuguese caravels in the end? Not that good. Watch records of the earlier rounds. We had Byzantines, Portuguese wars, and Portuguese always died. Minus 150 food really hurts though. That's true. Kind of expecting Turks and Britons now, yeah, exactly. So they picked what the enemy banned. So we have Britons and Chinese for QueNDi, and Japanese and Turks for QueNDi. Now that's interesting. That's really interesting. Didn't expect that. By turns and Britons. I think Turks don't have shipwright. Towers for Brits. Fast fires for Brits. Cannon boats for Turks, indeed. And yeah. Is there a date for the final? Well, we had this weekend everyone playing the matches, so the winner of that against Tyrant Plebs will start to schedule tomorrow. So probably next weekend will be the finals, but they also have 2 weeks time, so to wait for the loser bracket. So within the next 2 weeks they have to play against each other, and we will see if it will be QueNDi or QueNDi. QueNDi will be very mad if they are losing this, because Kellan is a guy who easily gets overconfident. Let's see and jump into game number 7 here. Team Island. The action will start instantly. How you start this is you just send all your villagers forward and delete your scout. Delete your scout. Or don't. Delete your scout, as you can see, and then just basically try to pump out as many ships as you can. Britain, start with some fast fires. Japanese as well. Mix in some demos, something that the Chinese player obviously should do a bit more. I absolutely hate how Kellan is starting this, but well, never mind. And yeah, let's take a look how this plays out. I don't hear much hype about QueNDi range, but for me he has played really amazing through this tournament. He is one of the very best. He just, yeah, didn't play a lot in the last times, so you don't hear much about him. But yeah, they got seed number 2 in this tournament, so he has to be an incredible player. And in Legacy Cup number 1, they got second. I think all of QueNDi are individually stronger than Rage. Potentially. But that's not how it works. Rage not really fighting with most of his ship here. There's very late with switching onto galleons. It's a lot of fast fires. Not a lot of demos. On the other side we have way more galleons. Look at that. 2 completely different approaches. And not a lot of demos. I think Kellan should go for more demos for sure. Oh, demos like those, I mean. That was a pretty sweet hit for them. And now the Japanese tower is really helping out. Having that 11 range and 15 times 2, I believe, damage output. That's crazy. 15 times 3 even. Not 100% sure. They are helping out in those fights quite a bit. Okay, demos. Let's take a look if they can get some more hits off. Some hits at the top here. Now more demos chasing in. I don't like how little of Rage Army is always fighting. Oh, that's a big hit as well. Really switched up at the same time. Kellan against Kellan fight here. Chinese, true. He has 30 military, roughly the same over here. So overall, military is looking pretty close. But those towers are just so good. Praxes can always retreat. And yeah, just take new engagements again. More than 15 because of heated shots. Okay. Rage is not using his units to full potential. It's another big spread of fight, but it feels like 50 military against 27 there. Kellan needs to retreat there. How many docks does he have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, that's not too few. Looked like too few. Oh, but well, compare that to improvise. He has way more. Like way more production. Oh God, those towers. I wouldn't even mind to see 3, 4 more towers. Not over here, actually, where they're fighting. Rage splashing in quite nicely there. Kellan coming over with some galleons. Is he defending this? Seems like it's 60 military for him, 90 for improvise here. This is still such an open game. As Vikings not OP longboat spam so easy, because Vikings don't have fast fire ship, and that's like the crucial unit in Team Island. Water first. So they always have to backtalk. You always lose the front control, and then try to fight. OP Koreans are the best, that's it for sure. Oh, now Longbowmen helping out here at the side as well. That's interesting stuff. And some cannon galleons, but they are not super well protected. Military count 40 here for Rage. I'm not sure why he's going for so many Longbowmen. If they are really helping out, I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna love those elite cannon guns. Look at that, 17 range here. And they are charging this quite nicely. Kellan's doing a beautiful job of clearing this up, or are they some demos? Can they maybe connect? I believe Kellan is seriously going for way too few demos here, especially with the Chinese bonus. Praxes now switching on to Galleons after going full past fires all game long. Got fed off that bit. Longbowmen, I'm still not sure how much damage they're actually doing. Obviously 12 range is quite a nice addition, but normally you want to go for only ship there. Mass amount of HP on those towers, but that's not the most important thing. Feels like Kellan is taking quite a solid engagement here. Uh-oh. Rage kind of needs to retreat. Overall military count is kind of even. Advantage here for Rage in the numbers, but as I said, I'm not sure how important those longbow man numbers really are. Kellan getting somewhat exposed. How many dogs does he have? Could use some more as well. Won't hurt to have 5 more. Take a look at the trade. How they're set up this far. Roughly 40 for QueNDi. And mid 10s for QueNDi. And suddenly Kellan's doing some work of Rage here. Take a look, can they take another advantage over here? I think that's a fight that Kellan should not take. 40 military against 40 of improvise. It feels like he is just having the better numbers. Oh, but another group of Galleons coming over here, so maybe sniping down those cannon Galleons. Let's take a look. He's microing them back not quite nicely, and Kellan is retreating at both sides simultaneously. So sweet job over there, trying to regroup a bit. And at the moment we didn't see a single landing yet. Obviously it will be tough with all those castles around, and I'm not sure why Kellan actually built some backdogs. He just controls the front area, it's totally fine. And now the longbowmen are coming over. Ay. What is going on here? Guys, if you want to know how Byzantines and Portuguese are playing out, just watch VODs of the previous round. We had one whole round playing Portuguese and Byzantines mirror on Team Islands. We saw mass caravels, we saw mass fast fire ship. They were pretty interesting games and we learned a lot. Rage not within the highest numbers now. All players kind of getting to a full population. I think they are building a bit too many villagers though. I don't think you want to go on to 140 villagers. That means military count at the moment for Praxes is only 27. That's too little. Sending some traps over even. Oh! Written traps. Interesting. That's obviously pretty good as well. Like with that splash damage. That should be an incredible addition. So where Portuguese good? I believe in RM water. Portuguese are pretty good. Shipwright is just such a good, or very important DM technology. Praxes, I believe that's not really the army amount he wants to have here, and that's what I said. Only 24 military for him at the moment. Has a nice amount of resources, but that's not too important. Let's maybe scroll through the players, see what they're up to. Rage, still lacking some gold. He has 30 trade cards though, so that should be fine one day. On the other side we have Improvise with all the resources in the world. Pop 190 for him. Quite active over here. I like how he's playing this. 60 military as well. And True with quite some resources as well. Maybe too many villagers. 130. At the moment only 40 military for him. That's not great. Why not put the archers in the tower? Could actually help something. Kellan trying to get more towers up, but they get instantly shot down. Traps not being used by Rage here, and Kellan needs to go back. Improvise playing this quite cleverly here with all his cannon galleons around, and those castles are in some trouble. Praxes even coming over, and oh god, Improvise playing this pure beast mode. Trade is so exposed by at Praxes side. Well, that's true. Absolutely true. Oh, Rage again, not using half his army. Now finally, maybe they can snipe down all the markets. Kind of a rush. Who is killing faster? At the moment it feels like Improvise is very fast. Has quite a nice amount of cannon galleons. Let's take a look at that. 5. With enormous range. And quite a lot of damage there. Maybe they can kill the market at the same time. Where is Rage going? Is he going to the top? Why? Need to really defend this? Don't really think so. Kellan with only that small amount of ship around. We still have wood left? Yeah, we have. So, okay. That's not what they're thinking about at the moment. Yeah, I think Rage could have maybe ended this game if they just killed the markets a bit earlier. Kellan with his defensive towers. Ooh la la la. They won't obviously do too much. A lot of cannonballs flying in the air. You can see that market number 1 is down. Market number 2 in some heavy troubles here. Let's take a look. This seems like this castle, this market is going down as well. And this could be game. Oh, okay, new market out. But Rage, losing at the front as well. Pop 154 and cannon at 180. The military count's not that high. Castle's still helping out somewhat. But we didn't see any towers from the Britons either. Now fast fires around, trying to catch all those elite cannon galleons off guard. Pretty sweet stuff here. But now going into the range of the towers of Improvise here. That's not going to help him too much. Obviously, the first fights are pretty nice against the galleons, but then the masses are really in favor here of Improvise. Now True is coming over, did stack up some galleons over here as it seems, but was it really enough? They're fighting this off. It feels like QueNDi is fighting themselves back into this game. Or are they? Still 60 military for Improvise. He is probably, for me, the best player of the series, and that's something I did not see happening. Rage, oh please don't tell me he has something important in there. Well, 3 traps, 3 longbow. I'll let you be the judge if that's important or not. But where is it to land? Aye. Uh-oh, Kellan's now getting completely trapped over here. Every time he builds another castle, that's just another target for the elite cannon galleons. We're now trying to come over here as well. Oops, a bit too far at the front. Kellan tries to snipe them before retreating. Actually leaves one alive. And where did this transporter go? Did he die? I lost track of it, sorry guys. Okay, just dropped off over here. I will give him a group. Maybe we can check him later. Is there a hole where they can really land? Not really. Everything's super well protected. Super well protected. So many castles. So many towers as well. Kellan's next castle is dying here as well. Was it really worth it? I'm not 100% sure. They trade quite short. 120 trade cards to 125. So that's super even, and I love that they're going for the high numbers. QueNDi, true. Just paying endless amount of resources to raid. How did that happen? Did the meta change with the expansions? Yeah, towers got way better. I think arrow slit. And yeah, but like building ship on Team Islands was always what people went for. If they wanted to win. So cannon guns are just insane. Absolutely agreed. And you know who also is insane? Improvise. Because he gets a sick 90 military here at the 32-minute mark, up and running and just pushing so beautifully. And if they kill those two markets, I don't really see QueNDi being too much more motivated to continue and fight this off with such a big deficit. Actually, they are still at 190. There's still an attack over here, not really. Transporter wasn't used yet. Traps around and they are doing quite some damage, and I would have loved to see TaToH play, not really, but somewhat against us with his traps and do the damage from the distance in all those fights. Big fights over here. Next market is under threat. Look at all those cannonballs. They are now flying in, and if this market goes down, all the trade cards will be idle. Galleons now pushing this through, and indeed no more trade, no more gold income at the moment for QueNDi, and no hold over here as well. Rage still has enough gold, so could give his teammate some resources for sure. He has enough markets here in the back, but losing just so much ground at the front. KD actually somewhat even. Praxes with the worst one, Improvise with the better one, but overall even for the teams, at least somewhat. Kellan taking another solid engagement, I would say. I love that. Praxes, oh, with the landing here. And those are mass traps and castles. That's no chance to defend that. Look at that. Oh god, traps now coming over. And they are just charging down houses. They're charging down some traps, even blocking lots of wood amount as well. And as we all know, in Team Islands, if we go to the very long game, whoever controls more wood is actually the winner of this game. True now coming over with all his villagers, but Praxes can just go back. And that's the beauty of the instant packing here of the Japanese traps. Now just sitting under his castle. This one will go up. I don't really see Rage engaging this properly. Traps now helping out as well. And Praxes even coming over with some ship. We have a big engagement over here in the middle as well. Price is losing this, and this looks good for QueNDi. They're actually taking quite reasonable engagement. If only True had some traps out or some, what is he, Chinese? Well, then some rams maybe. And they could have done something, but well, that's not happening now. QueNDi will pull a Brazilian B. Well, they are on their best way to do that. Guys, I absolutely love that you are as big of a fans of the series as I am. We didn't drop any viewers for at least the last hour, I would say. And yeah, I hope you're all enjoying this so much. Sick Nili still going strong. Well, sick in two ways, right? Having a cold and being a sick human being. But you know who else is going strong? Improvised in the center here, and center control is just so important in Team Islands. If you have those cannon galleons around, you can always snipe houses, always snipe down castles, and I also dropped no frames. Well, that's true, that's surprising. I'm in London server for a change. First time ever I tried that, and I'm up for 1.5 hours, so good for me. That's a lot of fast fire ships. Let's take a look at resources. Rage, pretty much at the limit. True, he has enough gold. Improvise, 2k gold. Praxes, mass amount of wood still left. That's enormous for him. And is he going for that wood? Yes, he is. Lots of traps for them as well. Oh, and samurais against Longbowmen and Chokunus. I've seen less one-sided fights. And more one-sided fights. Oh god, no answer to those elite cannon galleons, guys. 17 range. When do we ever see that? Not to open it. Not too often. Often, I want to say. On water. And look at that, cannon galleons now chasing down those traps of rage and indeed getting the kill there. That means Praxes can just go quite heavily on samurais. And the problem is, everything that counters samurais now costs gold. And you don't really want to invest any more gold in this map. You want to invest into your ship and controlling everything. Right at this point, pop 150. Everyone actually not really able to keep up the full production. We're going at the 42-minute mark. And as you guys all know it, if QueNDi loses this game, they are being put into the loser bracket. A team that claims themselves to be one of the favorites of this tournament, and Kellan so confident saying, okay, let's train for the finals. Well, now they are quite some wins away from that. Okay, maybe Kellan with one move over here. Could have sniped down the trade, but that didn't happen. Praxes actually having quite a lot of stuff prepared. Did I see a transporter over here? Not really. But this push continues, and that's a lot of samurais. Oh god. QueNDi has to be the better trade route. Absolutely. Look at that. Praxes is getting 46 gold every trip. On the other side, we have Kellan getting 20 only. And they are blocking each other so heavily. That's not a beauty. Samurais now are striking all this down. I like that they're actually going for champs. Don't like that. Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Not the best counter, but a reasonable counter for sure. That's so much water control still. Kellan now running around, but went through some of the fast fire ship, trying to go for some sniping, but that's not really going to happen. Loser bracket, best bracket, as you know it. North Korea, best Korea. And that's just so deadly for Kellan here, dropping down below pop 120. I don't really see them holding this here. Oh god, those elite cannon guns. How good are those? Absolutely incredible. And that all got cleared up super cost efficiently by Praxes. Let's take a look at the wood price. We are at 270 here. 46 minutes into this game, and still so much wood control here from Praxes on the enemy island, something that should never ever happen. This castle, well, seems like he wanted to prepare this quite heavily. Now charging up with all his villagers, really wants to give the payback, but this looks like a very desperate move. QueNDi seems to be going down into the loser bracket. QueNDi against Tyrant Plebs might be our upcoming match into the winner bracket finals. Something that not a lot of people expected. That actually seed number 4 against seed number 3 after Rubenstock stroke, failing, and now QueNDi Titanicing here as well. Beautiful, beautiful games by QueNDi. What did Improvise do? How good is he? Someone not a lot of people had on the line. I, in my prediction, said QueNDi will perform incredibly with Leash and Praxes, and once Improvise has to play, that's going to be tough for them. And overall score 5-2. I'm completely done, guys. I'm completely destroyed. My voice is completely gone. But this series was super intense, super nice, and I loved it. And I don't regret anything, as long as I can talk in some days again. Oh, let's take a look at the achievements to finish that off. Okay, D4 Improvise. How well was he controlling his army over and over again? So well done.